Okay guys, so now let's work on task 8 here, Bitcoin project, introduction to functions. So we have as programs start to get bigger and more complex, some of your code will be repetitive, writing the same code to do the same calculations, and this is where functions come in. A function is a block of code that can be called at different places in your program. You could have a function to work out a calculation such as the distance between 2 points on a map, or output formatted text based on certain conditions. Having functions removes repetitive code, as the function purpose can be used multiple times throughout the program. So we have here the following, and let's copy paste that. There are some key components we can take note of. We have the define keyword that will be signifying the start of our function or the beginning of our function, and it will be followed by our function name, which is say hello, that can be customized by the programmer, and it will be having a parameter. One thing to note here, following the function name will be parenthesis that will be holding input value, so we can go and input a value once we have declared this name here inside of the parenthesis. So once we try to run the program, as you can see here, we have an input value of Ben, and data we can pass into the function. We have the name, and we can see that there's this ending statement. And in the function that we have here, you would notice that we have concatenated the parameter that we have specified inside of the parenthesis here. So we have a string and strings. So now it will be outputting hello Ben, nice to meet you. If we try to run that, we have the Ben input value that we have specified once we run our function here. So I can replace that with John, and you would see it got replaced also in our code output. So now we have to understand that the indentation is very important, because that will be signifying what are the statements that will be part of the function and the instructions that you're giving it through the indentation. So one key note about functions is that we can also input we know that we can input a value, and we can also return an output value. So similar with our example here, if we run a calc cost function and pass in sweets as the item parameter, the function will return a decimal number float. In the code above, we take a variable called spend and add the cost of sweets through the calc cost function. When we call calc cost, will return the number 3.99. So how the function works is that if this item parameter is equal to sweets, if the input value that we have specified in our function here when we run it is equals to sweet, it will return 3.99. If this is true, it will return 3.99 as an output. If this is true, it will return the 1.99 output, and if this is both are not met, the conditions, we will return 0.99. So let's say, for example, you would see here we have 10. So if we try to run this will be 13.99. 10 plus 3.99, which is the value of the function that we have here, that we added to the variable spent from where we assigned a value of 10. So this now is a bucket that contains a value of 10, and we reassigned a new value using the current value, which is 10, plus the value of the function that will be having certain conditions. In this case, we declared sweets, which will be returning 3.99. So that will be 13.99. Okay, so let's say, for example, if we go and use oranges, this will be 11.99 because we return this value plus 10. And if we say coconut, and we don't have any declaration for that, so we have 10.99. Okay, so now let's go and work on our bitcoin.py here, and we can see here that it says we want to write a program that tells us when the value of Bitcoin falls below a particular value in dollars as specified here. when the value of your Bitcoin falls below 30,000, we create a function to convert Bitcoin to USD, and if the Bitcoin falls below 30,000, print a message. You can assume that one Bitcoin is worth $40,000. We have two variables here that has a value of the investment in Bitcoin, 1.2, and Bitcoin to USD value is $40,000. So we want to write a function, so we want to define the function Bitcoin to USD, and we want to have two parameters for that, which is the Bitcoin amount and Bitcoin value USD here. And inside of this function, we want to compute the USD value. So we have USD value, assign the value of, as specified here, we want to calculate by multiplying Bitcoin amount multiplied by Bitcoin value to USD. And we want to return that input value. As specified here, we return the value. So we just use the return keyword so that once this gets executed, we will be outputting the value of the specified Bitcoin amount here and Bitcoin value in the parameters. Now we want to go and write a function that will be specifying the investment in USD dollars. So let's first declare an investment in USD here. We assigned a value to that will be containing this Bitcoin to USD function, and we need to put input values here, and we know that we do have here investment in Bitcoin will be the first parameter because that's the Bitcoin amount, and we'll have Bitcoin in current USD dollars. We are assuming that one Bitcoin is worth $40,000. Now we can go and write our if statement from where we want to know it says here, calculate the value of your Bitcoin in USD and then create an if statement to determine if the value falls below $30,000. So let's have if investment in USD is less than or equal to $30,000. Let's go and print your Bitcoin investment is below $30,000. Then here let's have an else statement. Print your Bitcoin investment is above $30,000. Let's just have an input message here. For the strings, and let's see, let's first run this. Bad input in on line 22. Bitcoin to USD, investment in Bitcoin, Bitcoin to USD. Oh, we don't need that. And there we go, we have THM Bitcoin investor. Paste that, submit. And it says here one Bitcoin is now worth 25,000. In the code editor on line 14, update the Bitcoin to USD variable below value to 25,000 and see if your Python program recognizes that your investment is below 30,000 threshold, because currently we have $40,000 per Bitcoin to USD, right? So let's go and try to have that $25,000, and you would see it specified below $30,000.